Our next story really shows the difference giving back can make.
Disasters and traumatic events happen all over the world on a seemingly endless loop. Many of the impacted communities are severely ill-equipped to help their citizens heal and recover. There's an urgent need to respond thoughtfully and intentionally to help these impacted communities.
The work that I do is to make sure that the volunteers, the staff, and the international leaders and local leaders that we work with understand EMDR therapy and that we can get EMDR therapy to those who need it most. After a disaster, we train people locally so they can give that therapy to those who need it most. I think the biggest difficulty with providing therapy is the stigma to recognizing that you have something that needs to be addressed.
Trauma Recovery EMDR Humanitarian Assistance Programs is a network of highly talented and educated volunteers whose mission is to help make effective psychological trauma treatments available to everyone, anywhere in the world. This transformative idea was first developed by Francine Shapiro nearly 30 years ago.
Francine Shapiro developed EMDR therapy, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, and that allows people to reprocess their trauma. We bring need and clinicians together, and that's why we're the hub. So we always say, get to know the local authorities, get to know the people where you will be able to help them when there's a disaster response.
Today, EMDR therapists make a significant impact for individuals suffering the effects of trauma. With their extensive training and skill, volunteers are passionate about making a difference.
I primarily take care of first responders in my community, as well as other folks who've suffered from traumatic events. Our San Diego Trauma Recovery Network is a collection of approximately 40 therapists who are all volunteers. We are called upon to support mostly because people already know that we are a viable and trusted team that can respond quickly and thoroughly across our county. At the beginning of a crisis, no one's really thinking about what they are going to care about later. So we are in place when that starts to sink in after the fact. When we typically arrive, we are able to explain and educate and then offer to support.
I'm on the volunteer faculty for Trauma Recovery Rehab as a facilitator, and so during EMDR trainings, therapists will practice on each other the EMDR tools and skills that they learned. And so my job is to facilitate that process. I attended a specialty training with Trauma Recovery Rehab. They talked about these trauma recovery networks. I was like, wow, that's amazing. We should start one in South Florida, where I am. 2018 comes, and the shooting in Parkland, Florida at Stoneman Douglas High School. And there were a few of us that just said, let's do it. And so we created a trauma recovery network in a few days, and we started treating students, teachers, first responders who were impacted by that terrible event.
I'm in charge of training all of our facilitators to make sure that we have the best quality facilitators for any EMDR training program. I also am a trainer for Trauma Recovery Rehab.
Trauma Recovery coordinates ongoing training workshops, seminars, and online training curriculum.
The training workshops that are offered are the EMDR Basic Training, Part 1 and Part 2. We train anybody that has a master's in mental health, and we actually have scholarships for some of them. Internationally, we don't charge. Anybody that's a licensed mental health professional and has gone through the training can be certified.
Trauma can be treated. Trauma Recovery is here to show you how.
We would welcome other mental health professionals to become a part of this organization, and also we would be happy to partner with other organizations that have the same kind of mission.
To learn more about Trauma Recovery EMDR Humanitarian Assistance Programs, visit the website at emdrhap.org or see the segment again on thebalancingact.com.